You could see the panic and terror in Donald Trump's face as he showed up at this Joe's seafood restaurant about a block from the White House to try to show the media how tough he was and how he said DC's looking great. So he goes to this restaurant and he is greeted by protests. Outside he gets booed, and inside the protesters got like a few feet away from him. It was Code Pink protesters and others. Watch this moment here. Play this clip.
Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time!
And just so you can see it from another angle here, protesters chanting at Trump at the restaurant, comparing him to Hitler. Here, play this clip.
Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
And this was the scene outside of Joe's Seafood right here when Trump was getting mercilessly booed as he arrived. Look at the scene outside. Here, play this clip. Now, I've been sharing with you as well all of the footage from the weekend of the massive DC protests. Donald Trump left DC to go to the U.S. Open in New York, where he was booed as well. And Donald Trump returned, and you see him getting booed there. You know, there were a lot of really serious international developments yesterday I want to touch on, right? It started in the morning yesterday with Israeli airstrikes hitting Doha, Qatar, residential areas. Allegedly, they didn't even tell Trump at first. So for all of the weapons that Trump is giving to Israel, Israel didn't even give a heads up, and they attacked a sovereign nation. Now, I think that Hamas needs to be brought to justice, absolutely. And I have a lot of complaints and criticisms about Qatar. I want to be clear that that's an understatement, but this idea of attacking sovereign nations and just killing people is something that we're seeing as the stable world order has collapsed, with Donald Trump now ruining America. And of course, that's also evidenced by Donald Trump posting ISIS-style killing videos of what he purported to be drug dealers in a small fishing boat off the coast of Venezuela, who he claimed were Tren de Aragua, although they have not provided any information to substantiate that, nor does common sense dictate that that small fishing boat even had enough fuel to make it to the United States. If Tren de Aragua is engaged in human trafficking, well, how do we know that the Trump regime didn't just kill innocent people as well? And in addition, they said that there was cocaine heading at first to Trinidad. Then they claimed that the Tren de Aragua were bringing cocaine into the United States. Well, even in the United States, there's not a death penalty for cocaine, although I certainly want to see drug dealers brought to justice through a due process and to the fullest extent of law. You know, throughout the country, I could highlight any city, small town, big town. We're seeing people rise up against the regime. So I want to give a shout out to my friends in Rochester, New York, not too far from where I grew up in New York. But here you see masked ICE Nazis coming to Rochester, trying to kidnap some roofers, and the community banded together and pushed them out. Here, play this clip right here.
Go away! Go away! Go away! Fuck you! No, in America!
All right. So in terms of the international affairs, you had in the morning the Trump regime not doing anything, I suppose, in response to Israel attacking Qatar. Then later in the day, we learned that Russia was sending its drones into Poland, a member of NATO, which should trigger Article 5. We've heard from Poland's prime minister, who confirmed that there was a military operation ongoing to strike down the Russian drones. You had Moldova activating their military as well, and Poland basically coming under attack from Russia. Yesterday, the Polish Armed Forces confirmed that there are military operations ongoing in eastern Poland, bordering western Ukraine, focused on locating and neutralizing these Russian drones. Civil authorities have issued shelter-in-place orders, while intelligence platforms and fighter aircraft have been mobilized with additional assets placed on heightened alert. A Republican Congress member, Joe Wilson, says Russia is attacking our NATO ally, Poland. Romania has had to scramble fighter jets as well. And this follows a very bloody day in Ukraine also, where Russia's been sending ballistic missile after ballistic missile, killing dozens in Ukraine. Remember a few weeks back when Donald Trump invited his lover, Vladimir Putin, to Alaska, and then Donald Trump said that, oh, Putin's agreed to all of these things. Putin's agreed to security guarantees and ceasefire and bilateral and trilateral meetings between Trump and Zelensky. And it seems like Putin is listening. Quite the opposite. Everybody sees that Donald Trump reeks of utter and absolute weakness, as California Governor Gavin Newsom says in response to the post by the White House about announcing UFC fighting at the White House, that there will be octagon cages on the southern lawn, full fight cards, Lincoln Memorial weigh-ins, jumbo screen on the ellipse. Governor Newsom's like, can we just get cheaper groceries, please? And please release the Epstein files. You see this photo right here of J.D. Vance with his face slightly AI altered on the Trump letter, and Trump's birthday card to Epstein, which is so clearly Donald Trump's signature. Like, it's not a debate. Is it Trump's signature or not? There are all these other signatures. Of course it's Trump's signature. What are we even talking about? What's your theory if you think it's not? That the Epstein estate planted it in the book with all of these other letters that Epstein got 20 years ago to frame Donald Trump 20 years ago. I mean, the wild thing to me is of actually the statements that Trump's made explicitly about Epstein and the fact that Mar-a-Lago was used as a location for the sex trafficking by Epstein for underage girls like Virginia Giuffre. If you looked at this letter and didn't imply a very sinister and creepy, to say the least, meaning you'd be like, okay, I don't know, maybe they were just rich guys who live next to each other. But Donald Trump's vociferous lies and behavior is like, oh my God, when you say enigma, you must be meaning something else. When you say our secrets never age, oh my gosh, you must be meaning something else. I want to share this with you as well, because early in the morning, Donald Trump gave an interview with right-wing radio hosts. That's pretty much exclusively where he goes. Here he was on with 77 WABC, and Donald Trump's like, we've gotten rid of inflation. We are in a perfect time period. Everything is wonderful, he says. Here, play this clip.
We have no inflation. Prices are down on just about everything. Prices are way down on energy, but prices are down for people.
Okay, we didn't. Inflation is surging right now. It's really bad. The jobs report was one of the worst jobs reports in a generation. It's a very soft job market. You have just overall economic indicators, GDP shrinkage. Overall, that adds up to stagflation. And of course, you've all seen letters like this. Like, this is from Sheetz Fresh Food, notice to our customers, effective 9/15/2025. Hershey's Food announced a large price increase on most of their items sold at Sheetz. The increase was 26% on king size and regular size candy bars, including top brands Reese, Hershey's, Kit Kat, Payday, New retail prices will be implemented on Wednesday, September 17, 2025. Like, I'm sure you're going into stores and saying, whoa, that's like double. That's like triple. That's like 7 times as much. That's just the reality of what is taking place. And then going back to international news for a second, here's what Senator Bernie Sanders writes. He goes, Netanyahu's extremist government is completely out of control. Not only are they starving children in Gaza, they are now breaking international law by dropping bombs on Qatar, a U.S. security partner. When is enough enough? Bernie Sanders says no more U.S. military aid to Israel. Look, I want to see America building hospitals, not using our taxpayer dollars to destroy hospitals in Gaza. I want to make sure that Hamas releases each and every one of those hostages, and I want to make sure that Hamas is brought to justice. We have to recognize the existence of sovereign countries, though, like Qatar, even if we strongly disagree with a lot of the things that Qatar does or elsewhere. And so I also see images like this of Israeli forces continuing to demolish high-rise residential buildings in Gaza City and just saying, well, it has to deal with Hamas. You've destroyed it all at this point. You've destroyed it all. The people are starving. The atrocities are happening before our eyes, and it's something that we can't ignore. Just take a look at high-rise after high-rise, just over the past few days even, being hit by missiles sent by Israel, paid for by American taxpayers. Here, play this clip.
دمار ايش صار؟ خربان الديار، نهاية الدنيا، نهاية الحياة، خلصت الحياة.
And it's not just that. American taxpayers are paying for Club Rose Garden so that the Trump elite oligarch cabal gets to dine on caviar and expensive steak at the White House. That's our Rose Garden. What the hell are you doing? Our taxpayer dollars are going to UFC fights in Washington, D.C., or going to ICE to put masked agents to disappear human beings. I'm not okay with it, and I'm going to call it out each and every step of the way. One other thing I'll mention now, and then Michael Popak and others will do full takes on it. Lisa Cook, the governor of the Federal Reserve, one of the board of governors, on the board of governors of the Federal Reserve, she prevailed in getting a temporary restraining order against the Trump regime. So a federal judge has blocked Trump's attempt to fire her for cause. And the judge basically said he didn't give her due process. And for cause relates to conduct she engages in while in the underlying position. Just another note as well. That guy, Bill Pulte, from the Fair Housing Administration, the Trumpy sycophant guy, who's the one who accuses all of Trump's political opponents of mortgage fraud. Apparently, he's now just utterly detested on Capitol Hill by most Republicans who think he's a weird guy, an awful human being. There's been a ton of hit pieces planted by Republicans against this guy. So we'll keep you posted every step of the way. As always, hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching. New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.